Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer in that order. Welcome everyone, regular rollers back after a bit of a hiatus here. Going to be weekly again starting today, so let's go ahead and get rolling. We'll start off with a bargain pickup. This was sent in by Mike, who wrote, I bought this lot on Facebook Marketplace for $14 shipped with this very non-descriptive picture. I got it today and was bummed to see that the packs had already been opened. Needless to say, my mind changed pretty quick when I saw this in one of the packs. I know it's not Tom Brady's most sought-after rookie, but for $14 shipped, this is a crazy steal for me. I sent the Brady off to be graded. Yeah, congratulations on that. Normally I would say, lots like this will not provide hidden gems like this. Usually you'll just get a bunch of commons and all the star cards have been pulled, but in this case, obviously an exception. So congratulations on the total bargain here. This was sent in by G. Hill, who wrote, I purchased this lot a short time ago. I believe the title is missing a lot of information, as the three finest cards are a regular refractor, a green refractor numbered to 199, and a black refractor numbered to 99. The high-tech is a wave refractor numbered to 50. For $92.99 shipping, I thought this was a pretty good deal. Maybe not a home run, but at least a double. I'll send them off to PSA for grading. The hope is to get 9s and maybe a 10 or 2. They are really nice. Yeah, I think you did extremely well here. 4 Jose Abreu rookie autos refractors for under $100. That's a great buy for sure. The listing itself it's really not that bad. They got most of the keywords. 2014 Jose Abreu rookie autograph refractor. Could have used maybe /50 /99, something like that would have helped a little bit. But I think it's more a case of just got a little bit lucky here, and sometimes just buying players in the off season, you can find a lot more bargains as less people are sort of actively seeking baseball during the off season, for example. This one's sent in by Wark, who wrote, the card I have for you today is this Diana Taurasi 2003 Sports Illustrated rookie card. For my research, this is her first card. From the limited amount of rookies she has, they come from 2004 Fleer Ultra and Sage hit sets. She is also one of the greatest WNBA players of all time, and I was able to get this card for under $5, which is an amazing deal for an athlete of her stature. Again, she doesn't have many rookie cards, and with the WNBA's popularity growing, having a rookie card of someone considered the GOAT of the sport, especially for $5. Yeah, I totally agree. That, sometimes, I understand, supply and demand is what sets the values of things. Sometimes it just is so out of whack, I don't quite get it. Like, for example, Serena Williams, her 1999 Sports Illustrated, pre-rookie is just off the charts, and she's considered, the GOAT in tennis. Well, Diana Taurasi here is in conversation for the GOAT of women's basketball, and here, you can get her first pre-rookie Sports Illustrated for kids, basically the equivalent of the Serena Williams card, for under $5. Not something I can really explain logically. I guess just that many more people want the Serena Williams, but I would sort of imagine that might sort of correct itself in the long run. I don't know that for sure, but it certainly seems possible. This was sent in by Scott, who wrote, I'm curious about this 1933 Goudey Rodgers Hornsby. I'm not familiar with the 33 Goudey cards, but I think this is probably a reprint or a counterfeit just based on the unknown grading company, no pictures of the card back, and the seller's inventory and sold items. Other than what I mentioned, is there anything on the front card that tells you this is obviously not an authentic card? Yeah, I can tell from the colors of from the front that this is not an authentic card. It's definitely a fake. The colors are just off on the front. I've never heard of this grading company, ECG, so that there's no credibility there. The back photo is way too blurry to tell anything, but yeah, on the front, it's clearly a fake. Did not get a bid for $1,500, so that's good. But even if this did sell, it would not pass eBay authenticity guarantee program. So this was sent in by Jay McAfee too, and he wrote, I ended up getting 10 of these for less than $20. If you actually take the time to watch Robert Ory's postseason, he's in the top 5 postseason clutch players to ever exist. Get this man into the Hall of Fame. I like this sort of thing. I mean, you can get notable players rookie cards from junk wax era for very little. This is probably his best rookie, 1992 Topps Gold, and yeah, you got it for $2 here. I'm just going to read quickly from Robert Ory's Wikipedia page, as it is more impressive than I realized. Robert Ory is an American professional basketball player, current sports commentator. He played 16 seasons in the NBA, winning 7 championships, the most of any player not to have played for the Boston Celtics. He is one of only 4 players to have won NBA championships with 3 different teams, 2 with the Rockets, 3 with the Lakers, and 2 with the Spurs, with no defeats in the NBA Finals. He earned the nickname Big Shot Rob because of his clutch shooting in important games. He is widely considered to be one of the greatest clutch performers and winners in NBA history. This was sent in by Neil from Texas, who wrote, taking advantage of the dip in the market, I've been hunting for deals. This one popped up and mentioned nothing about the Aaron Rodgers rookie in the title, but it was shown in the pictures. I was nervous of that card being a reprint, but after I got it, all looked good to me. Was also surprised to find Frank Gore and DeMarcus Ware rookies as well. Deals are still out there, just got to go hunting for them. Yeah, total steal here, and mistake by the seller not to include the Rodgers in the cover photo. You can see the cover photo here features Troy Williamson, who's a common, and doesn't mention Aaron Rodgers in the title. You know, the Aaron Rodgers, which is not until, you don't see the Aaron Rodgers until the fourth picture. That's, you know, worth many times the entire rest of the lot combined. So that obviously should have been in the cover photo and should have been included in the title. And since it wasn't, that's why you're able to get this lot for, you know, $11, $12 all in or so, which is way less than the value of the Rodgers alone. This was sent in by Dane, who wrote, I just won an auction for a 2022 Panini Ripken Jr. relic card featuring what I believe to be a completely bogus swatch. The material looks more like my grandma's kitchen towel than an Orioles jersey. It has a navy blue pinstripe, which according to my vast Ripken collection and exhaustive online searches, including the Baltimore Orioles uniform history pages, were never worn in a game. Image searches did turn up a few Orioles jerseys with black pinstripes, but they are the fan merchandise variety, not official game jerseys. I'm left to conclude that this card is one of two things, the result of carelessness at Panini, or a super rare swatch from a one-off game jersey that a lifelong Ripken fan has never seen. Whichever the case, I thought this would be an interesting addition to the relic portion of my COMC. I know relics are a contentious topic in the hobby, with vague phrasing like the enclosed game-worn used material is guaranteed by Panini on the backs of these cards. They can be hard to take seriously. Thanks for all the great content, and hats off to a fellow Cal fan. Yeah, you said basically everything that needed to be said here. I mean, you know, one possibility is that, you know, the back says the enclosed game-worn material is guaranteed by Panini. There's nothing there that says it was guaranteed to have been worn by Cal Ripken. It might have been game-worn by some other player on some other team. You know, that's one random, you know, conspiracy theory thought. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that would explain the blue pinstripe on the Baltimore Orioles jersey. This was sent in by Themo, where I'm not sure what the reason is, but Dirk Nowitzki actually does not have any card in the 1999 Topps Chrome set, which would have been his second year in the league. This means that in Topps Chrome terms, the 2000 set actually contains his second year card. That set does not seem to be particularly popular, or at least it has a relatively low pop count. So if you find a 2000 Dirk Topps Chrome refractor, you can effectively pick up a relatively rare quote-unquote second year refractor of his. I always thought that this makes this card a bit of a hidden gem. This SGC 8 just sold a few days ago for only $15. I thought that was an absolute steal. Unfortunately, I was not the one who bought it, but would love to hear your thoughts on the card. Yeah, I never thought about it, but I like your thinking quite a bit here. I mean, 2000 is a really sort of dead year for basketball. There's just no notable rookies in 2000. You know, Jordan was out of the league, so he's not in the set. It was pre-LeBron, so there's just not a lot going for, you know, the 2000 basketball sets, and that one of the reasons why they're not particularly popular, as you mentioned. Yeah, this Dirk Nowitzki is numbered at a 199 refractor. This should have gone for a lot more than $15. This was definitely a great price for whoever the buyer was here. But yeah, I like your thinking overall. This was sent in by Hayden, who wrote, I was scouting 2022 Panini Prizm World Cup auctions to get some deals and found this slightly overpriced Messi lot that probably would have sold for about $16, but instead sold for $1,600. The seller has massive feedback and reputation, so I was especially confused to see this pointless shill bidding, if that's what you would even call it. Yeah, totally no idea what happened here. This is just a base Lionel Messi card and a very common insert featuring Messi and Di Maria for Argentina. This should have sold for, you know, $10 or whatever at the most. But it went for $1,600 plus in auction. I mean, that's obviously, you know, not a legit sale. Looking at the bidding history here, I don't know what to make of this. It's not shill bid, because shill bid would sort of be little by little increments, you know, 2-0 feedback bidders inching each other up, where this was just jumped from $50 up to $1,600. And, you know, to do that, you need two bidders putting in bids of $1,600. And I think this is probably just two people, you know, goofing off and doing something stupid. That would sort of be my guess. This was sent in by Joe, and I really like his story, so I'm going to just read his story here. Back in 1996, my buddies and I started a fantasy football league that is still going on today. This league has been going on so long that owners have passed away, owners have had kids, and those kids have become the owners themselves. In our very first year, Mike, the commissioner, put together the greatest fantasy football team I've ever seen, and not an exaggeration, included Favre, Emmett, Barry Sanders, Chris Warren, Jerry Rice, Carter, Pickens, Coates, just all stars up and down the lineup. I had a terrible team and got lucky just to make the playoffs. I randomly went on a run and found my way into the championship game against Mike. In a crazy turn of events, nearly every player on both teams completely crapped the bed except for one, Falcons wide receiver Bert Emanuel. Emanuel ended the game with 9 catches for 173 yards and a touchdown. The performance by Emanuel would be the difference, and I won the league that year. For the next 25 years, that story always found a way to work itself into conversations, and we have talked about it a couple of hundred times at this point, and many times on our podcast. Mike hates Bert Emanuel, but I often wonder how interested I would have been in fantasy football and had I ended up losing that first championship, maybe in a weird way. Bert is the reason the league is still going strong today. I decided to check out what random cool cards Emanuel had, and I came across this 1997 PMG in an SGC 8. It's the first football year of PMGs. They had precious metal gems in previous years, but not the official PMGs. The look of this year of PMGs is iconic, still used in products today. The black uni and the red of the card absolutely pop, and it's a photo of Bert from my championship-winning 1996 season, since it's a 97 product. The card was listed for $350. I reached out to the seller and asked if they would take $275. They sent me the offer of $275, and I accepted. This one is sent in by Philip, who wrote, "Here's a pretty unique one for you. During the last couple of years, collectors started to seek out the GOATs in other sports. Recently, the popular gold medal winning U.S. men's curling team was included in the 2022 Topps Allen and Ginter checklist, and that inspired me to dig a little deeper into the curling card scene. I discovered that Canada's Kevin Martin is considered the number one of all time in the sport and actually had a few cards released in some obscure Canadian sets in the early 90s. Looking further, I discovered he had an on-card auto release in 2014 Upper Deck Goodwin championship sets. I found a single copy being offered for auction on eBay and submitted a bid in the last minute and was able to get it for under $10 all in. Can't beat that for the GOAT for a GOAT auto." And we'll finish on this vintage card here. This is sent in by Mike, who wrote, "I've recently been interested in buying cards from the iconic T206 set, specifically players on the Kansas City Blues. This PSA 2.5 Spike Shannon stuck out to me because of the inclusion of the Charles Bray collection on the PSA label. It turns out Charles Bray was a pioneer of the card hobby as far back as the 1940s. He is considered the first auctioneer and full-time dealer in the hobby. Many of the T206 cards from his collection have been put up for sale over the years, and all have the designation on the PSA label. Spike Shannon is not a particularly notable player, but this particular copy is a bit more unique." That's awesome. I've heard of Charles Bray, but I didn't know that that's who he was. Obviously, here's a picture of him, and obviously, anyone who is a pioneer in the sports card collecting world is all right by me. But that's it for this week's Regular Rollers. Hope everybody enjoyed. And as I mentioned, Regular Rollers will be back to weekly starting today. So every Thursday, if you enjoyed this, check in next Thursday for the next episode and a bunch of other sports card related videos in between. Thanks, everyone.